Welcome to the June 26th edition of Colorado Inside Out Postgame, a special web-exclusive production here on Channel 12. Let's get a quick take on the South Carolina governor announcing that the Confederate flag will be taken down pending a majority rule in both chambers of the legislature. Other states are following suit, and most major retailers have halted sales, sparking a national debate over its true meaning. Natasha Gardner with 5280 Magazine, what do you think about this?
I think it needs to happen. I think that it's important to look at historical symbols and to also understand that they change over time, that words too change over time. And I think it's difficult to look at that flag and not see a history of racism or slavery. And I know that's not the case for every person, but I think that is the case for a larger and larger group of Americans. And the longer that it sits atop, say, state buildings as a symbol of what message are we giving our children, what message are we sending to other countries? It's something that needs to change immediately.
David Koppel with the Independence Institute and DU Law School. I've talked to a lot of people who were even shocked that this flag was still hanging. What do you think?
I'm not being a Southerner, nor having lived in the South, I don't really understand what it means to the people of all races who live there. And I think, as Natasha said, it means it doesn't have just one meaning, it has multiple meanings. And certainly some people have meant it in a racist kind of sense. I think Governor Haley, who is a South Carolinian and part of the New South very much, she knows more about it than I do, and I would defer to her judgment. I think we want to avoid extending the principle of, like, what flag are you going to fly over your state capitol or in South Carolina on the grounds of the Capitol, to the point of politically correct idiocy. Apple, the company that's the vanguard of politically correct idiocy, has said it will stop selling Civil War games because the cover of the game has a Confederate flag on it. Well, you know, if you're going to have a picture of the Battle of Gettysburg to go with your Civil War game, it's going to have probably the flags of each side that we're fighting and pictures of the soldiers in uniform. And to say that you have to take that down is certainly Apple's free choice, but it's also a preposterous choice of political correctness taken to its Stalinist endpoint.
Craig Silverman, talk show host with KNUS and Silverman and Olivas. I know you have an opinion on this. What would you say?
I don't like the Confederate flag. Never have. It always has stood as a representative of the people who supported slavery, which is the embodiment of racism. And for those who say it had nothing to do with what happened in Charleston, they haven't seen this Dylann Roof's manifesto, where he's posing over and over again with the Confederate flag, and it's part of that organization that radicalized him online, the Council of Conservative Citizens. It's bad, and the government in South Carolina is doing the right thing. I commend Nikki Haley. I commend Senator Tim Scott, and even Lindsey Graham came around to doing the right thing. And it's a marketplace decision. These stores like Target and Amazon and even Apple say, we don't want to be associated with it, and we think it will hurt our business. So I think that's the way it should work. I have to say that a lot of conservatives have disappointed me with their tepid responses or their defense of the flag. I don't like that a bit, and that's why I think Dr. Ben Carson distinguished himself for reacting to the Confederate flag and saying, no, it is a symbol of racism, and no state should endorse that. No company should either.
Kara DeGette with the Greater Park Hill News. Some are saying this could be looked at as a distraction from the gun rights discussion. What do you think?
I think that's hogwash. And I think that the call for action, the kind of direct call for action and the result of what happened last week in Charleston and Dylann Roof's manifesto and his obsession with the Confederate flag and all it represents is so encouraging to consider that perhaps we can look at these kinds of direct courses of action and direct action being able to be taken when something this egregious happens. I would like to have that extended to efforts to really take a serious look at gun control and what we can do to avoid being targeted by people like Dylan Roof.
That's all the time we have for Colorado Inside Out postgame this week. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think. For everyone here at CPT12.org, I'm Gabrielle Bryant. Thanks for watching.